Hi everyone, this is Jessica with My Only Sunshine, and today I just wanted to talk a little bit about the crocodile stitch. You can see here I'm making a dice bag, and I do have a very shiny yarn. This is Peyton's Metallic. There's a label there. It's got a very nice sheen to it. It's really fun for costume type projects. So what I'm making right now is a dice bag, and my one problem with the crocodile stitch is you can see here it is very open. So a lot of times when you're making something, especially if you're making a bag or a dice bag, you do want to make sure that you make a lining for it as well. I typically try to just crochet something and sew it in at the end, but you do want something in there to make sure all your stuff doesn't fall out. So what you want to start with is a base of 5, and you basically work in 2 different rows. So you can see here, I'm going to do a base for some scales here. So I've got 2 double crochets. I'm going to chain 1, do a single crochet in the middle of one of the scales here. And you can see there that's going to make sure that the next scale lines up in between. Sorry, I ended up a little off camera there. I keep bumping my tripod here. So I'm just going to finish off this row. And you can see I'm just going to alternate with those 2 double crochets and a single double crochet with a chain in between. And that's where our base of 5 is coming into play there. So basically if you're working on a beginning chain, every 5 chains that you make is going to end up being 1 scale. So here's the trickier part here, is you're going to end up turning your work. So I've got 2 double crochets here that I'm going to work along the sides of. So I'm going to start by chaining 3. And that's going to count as a double crochet. And then I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to insert along the side of that first double crochet. And I'm going to do that 3 more times. So it's going to count as 5 double crochets worked along the side of another double crochet. So when I get to the end of that, you can see I have half a scale there. And when I turn around this way, I can finish off that scale. So this is always the hardest part for me, is turning it both ways. So you're basically going to work back and forth like that all the way around. Whoops. So you can see I've got another 5 double crochets there. I've made my scale. And then I am just going to slip stitch into the top of the single double crochet of the prior row. Okay, so after you've finished your first scale with your slip stitch, you're going to go ahead and you're going to do 5 more double crochet into each of the next set of 2 double crochets from the prior row. So you can see you really are working 2 rows for 1 final row. You've got your foundation row where you're doing your single and then double crochets split up by that chain. And then you have the actual scales that you're working on top of those. So I've got my 5 double crochets there, which forms half of the scale. And then I'll come up over here. You see that is tricky, turning it and getting your hook in there. You don't want it too tight, but you don't want it too loose at the same time. So it's really a matter of keeping your tension there, which can really be the frustrating part. But you go ahead, you continue this pattern all the way around. So there's my other 5 double crochets back up the other side to form another scale. I'm going to slip stitch in between. And that's how you do. I'm just going to continue that pattern working all the way around. So each of these 2 double crochets there, you're going to build a scale on each one of them. So that is how you do the crocodile stitch. I know this is a very basic run through on it, but it does take some practice to master it, and it can be a lot of fun and add some nice texture to your projects. Thanks for joining me. This is Jessica from My Only Sunshine.